Hi, you guys. What is up? Welcome back to the podcast. If you are watching us over on YouTube, you can see the full video picture here. I have my different headphones on today, you guys. I have two main sets of headphones that I use for the podcast, and my other headphone is cute. It clips on your shirt. It honestly sounds so good in the car when I record using that microphone. But I didn't feel like holding her today. I feel like I need my hands for today's conversation. I also have my second cup of coffee here. So we're going to get into a full chat. But if you guys are watching this over on YouTube, you get my full NASCAR experience happening here. It's kind of weird using these big headphones. So, like, if you guys have seen me on Instagram stories before, for those of you listening on podcast platforms, like these are like my big pink headphones that like literally look like a cross between Britney Spears and NASCAR. And it's really weird because you can't really hear yourself talking. So I feel like I slightly talk a little bit weird when I'm wearing these headphones, but maybe I'm doing something wrong. If you know if I'm doing something wrong with these headphones, let me know in the comments down below if you're on YouTube, because I can't hear anything and like it throws me off a little bit. But, anyways, we're going to roll with it. I am so excited for today's episode because I have been getting a lot of compliments on my social media lately. And if you guys are following along over on Instagram, you can see that there's a little bit of a difference happening, and a little bit of a difference, a lot. And I'm falling in love with social media all over again. My results are through the roof, and I just feel better coming to my audience over there. So I want to talk about all of this because there's a lot of chit chat about social media right now, and social media for 2023, and Instagram's dead and all these things. And it's like, social media is not dead. Instagram is not dead. Just the way that you're going about it isn't working anymore. And I feel like I'm going to open up a can of worms here, but you know what? We're just going to get into it. So, before we get to it, little life update. We're going to introduce today's sponsor and then get into the goods. So, I shared over on my YouTube channel last week, you guys, in my very first vlog about my monthly grocery shopping and some of the household management stuff that I do behind the scenes, and the feedback, you guys, like, you guys loved it. You loved it. And to be truthful, that just like barely scratches the surface of like household management stuff I do. But I was really thinking about this as I was rewatching my vlog, and I was thinking about other things I want to share with you guys over there and just take you like on the behind the scenes journey of Brittney CEO and the life of. And like, what that stuff really is for me, you guys, is prepping for future Brittney to save her time, like to make future Brittney's life easier. And a lot of people talk about this, a lot of leaders talk about this, and they'll say, like, create a keyless entry life. Like, where can you just hack things so that it's easier for you? Because if you're showing up in a high capacity for your family, for your business, for your life, like, you don't have time to just be like draining the bathtub every single place. And so I started talking about groceries because that's like probably the first area that I really like household management styled everything, if you will, like organized everything. And I just like, I can't stand when I have to run to the grocery store. Like, let me know if you guys are the same way, but like just running to the grocery store, like, I know for some people that's a break. Like, I'd rather like pretend and run to Starbucks, or like pretend to go golfing and like sit with my girlfriends. Like, I am not excited to like run to the grocery store, okay? I make my life easier. I do not run to the grocery store. Very rarely will I have to do that because I always have backup items of everything in our house. And because I'm buying once a month, I buy lots of things all at once. So I'm not going in and out of the grocery store. So I was sharing all about that on YouTube. So I'm really actually excited to see who starts to like take on some of these shifts. Like, I was going to say, even if you guys don't try grocery shopping once a month, what if you started moving to weekly if you keep going like every couple of days? What if you started moving from weekly to bi-weekly? Like, see where you can shift this, and you're actually going to be so surprised how much energy this opens up for you. But I got a whole load of places we're going to talk about household management and when it comes to all those kinds of things. And you guys know that Matt and I hope to start a family soon. And so I'm just like practicing now too for when we have kids. But I like being organized. I like having stuff on hand. And the truth is like, you never know when you're going to need some of this stuff, whether it's a recipe you're creating or you can't make it to the grocery store. Like this kind of stuff's smart. I just set up future Brittney all the time, whether we're talking about the house or we're talking about business. You know what I mean? So we've also started planning some summer vacations for ourselves over here. But Matt's work is so unpredictable this time of year. Like things change all the time. And basically, what we're working with is his schedule for planting, for fertilizing, for taking crops off. And that all depends on the weather and the growing speed of the crops. And so we can kind of know when seasons are. And like all farm wives kind of know there's a little bit of a schedule, but that changes all the time. And it can change like minute by minute, day by day, week by week. And so we can't really like plan summer vacations like we would traditionally like pick the week we're taking off and just go for it. But what Matt and I like to do is we like to have a couple of ideas of some fun things we want to do for the summer. And then as pockets of time open up, when we do get a better idea of like when crops are going to be ready and when we need to do things, then we can go ahead and book it. So if you guys have any fun summer vacation ideas for us, let me know in the comments below what you guys are doing and what vacations you guys are taking this summer. But we're starting to think about those things too over here, which I'm so excited about. Honestly, it has felt like we've already had our summer because it's been so hot. The month of May has literally felt like 7 months of August. And I'm like almost kind of craving fall again. I know that's absolutely psycho to say out loud, but like we're in Canada and things are not normal. It's really funny because I have a lot of clients and mentors and friends that live in California, and they're like, it's so cloudy and dreary right now in California. And I'm like, no, I know. I was there in April. It was terrible. It was so depressing. But like, that's how our winters are in Canada, right? Like, and especially this last winter, it was like that and it was painful. So if you're in California, shout out to you. I know it is so hard there right now, and I'm sending you so much love and so much sunshine. Like, do what you can to like I don't know, pour a glass of orange juice or something in the morning. Like you need to see some color, you need to see some light. But we are like having California's weather here, which is wild. It's so hot, it's so sunny, but like detrimental to our crops and everything that's going on like in Canada that we're used to being able to do in May. So I know we're into June now, but honestly, I just feel so weird about summer this year. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same way. Like it just feels like we've been in summer for so long already. I'm like, okay, what's next? But maybe I'm the crazy one for thinking that way. Anyways, I want to introduce today's sponsor for today's episode. And today's episode is sponsored by my audience growth guide. You guys, this is for Instagram, and I know a thing or two about growing your Instagram account. Okay, let me tell you, I have grown my account to over 130,000 followers, but it's not just about what I've been able to do with my account. It's about what my clients have also been able to do with their accounts. Okay, audience growth is not about going viral or getting the right hashtags and having people find you because of your good content. You are going to fight an uphill battle if that is all you're relying on for audience growth. And my God, I used to rely on that all the time. But that's not actually what happens when it comes to audience growth. And I promise if you start implementing these strategies consistently, you'll start to notice changes in your results, meaning the bottom line inside your business. Time after time, when people come back to me, they're like, it doesn't really feel like anything's working. I'm not really getting the sales I want. I'm not getting the clients coming through the door. I'm like, tell me about your audience growth plan. And they're like, and it's like, exactly. So I've broken this down for you inside the audience growth guide. It is so easy to implement inside your account. We have a cute little fun challenge at the end of it if you want to like really go for it and unleash in this category. But this is the knowledge you need to know. And it is literally only $11. So make sure you grab that. That is in the description of today's episode. So if you have any questions, you can't find the link, let me know. But what will happen is you'll pay and you'll get an email right to your inbox with that PDF. So make sure you look in your junk folder too, just because sometimes it lands over there. Okay, you guys, without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, I need a little coffee break in the middle of these talks, you know? So, I want to talk about why my social media is working differently right now and why it's very successful in 2023. And the reason for this is I don't just set goals inside my business, I also set goals when it comes to how I want my audience to feel inside my social media account. And this is something I've really dialed in on the last few months. And of course, people are noticing. So I think what I was missing for a long time was having a vision for my social media account. Like, I so badly wanted to make it in business, like all of you, right? I so badly wanted to see growth inside my business and my income and with my clients. And I was trying so hard. It was just like, I don't want to like play this cute little game on social media. Like, I just want to be able to like do good work for people, grow my business, and not have to spend so much time on here. And I get it. Like, trust me, I get it. But I started to crave having a different space inside my social media account. I would say that started maybe about 6 months ago. I really started having this thought because I was starting to think about people that I actually love online. And I was just like, there's something about their accounts that just make me want to come back, that make me want to check into their accounts every day. You can tell they just really care. You can tell people want to be there. You can tell people are DMing them and like answering their question sticker box like no tomorrow. You can tell that influencer can barely keep up with the community because it's just so beautiful with everything happening there. And I was like, I want that on a whole other level for my business and my Instagram account. But the truth is like I had never really thought about how my audience feels and setting a vision for that and creating a home for people inside my social media account. And that's what I want to talk about today. Okay. So it's really important to make strategic moves online. We all know that, but this is going to go beyond the strategy as well. And so it's not that you've like set the wrong goals inside your business. It's just that I want to encourage you to set more goals inside your business. Okay. I don't actually ever have one goal going on inside my business and life at a time. People say all the time, like, you need to get focused and blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? We are multidimensional human beings. Like, you are not a robot. Like, you're not programmed for one goal. Okay. So I want you to feel free in adding more goals to your business, to your life. And, don't let the niche conversation stop you. Don't let the focus conversation stop you because your account is going to grow by leaps and bounds when you decide to actually put a different vision there and create some more goals around your social media too. But a lot of people have been sensing a change in how I'm showing up online. And actually, my client yesterday complimented me on it. She's like, I could tell a shift was happening here and I couldn't describe it. But she's like, there's just this elevated sense of being able to tell that you actually want to be there. And I know that we're all on our accounts to make money, obviously. Like, we wouldn't spend this much time thinking about it and this much effort if we weren't also trying to grow our income and our businesses at the same time. But I really did have this sense for these last 6 months of wanting my account to be a home where people want to come. Where people want to come and check in and hang out on it because there were those accounts that I was following personally that were making me feel that way. And here's what I've noticed in social media more than anything else. A lot of people are struggling on social media in 2023 because it's no longer just as simple as saying, like, I had this big result, I made this income, or this big win happened for me, I can help you too. That is not cutting it on social media anymore. But for a long time, from like 2020, 2021, 2022, even, you could ride the coattails of that. People would see that and be like, this is amazing. I want to know how too. The problem is everyone and their mother is claiming that they can make a 10K month right now or, rinse and repeat for your own industry. And people just need more than that now. They're like, okay, that's nice. Might save some of your content. Moving on. Not sure if you can help me. That's great. Not sure if you can help me. We need to be willing to give more in our social media accounts now than ever before. And I don't mean the volume of stories you're doing or the volume of posts you're doing, unless you're ghosting your account entirely. But a lot of people have dove so hard into the niche conversation and just like niching down and like only speak to your people and blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? That was a strategy that worked for the last few years, but now everyone does that and it's so boring. No one wants to follow that. No one wants to follow that. And I say that with so much love because I get if you're doing that, you're just trying to make a go of your business. But the reality is like it's not social. Social media was meant to be social, and most people miss this social aspect. And this is what I'm saying. I decided to like turn on the lights for inside my account and take to a whole other level. And I'm going to walk you guys through that today so that you can start implementing some of these pieces yourself. But if you're struggling in 2023 with social media, really take a look at this. Are you creating a home for your account? Is it social, or is it just like a place to dump information, tell people what they're doing wrong, show them like this fancy win that you have, and hope that they buy? I know I'm like oversimplifying things, but that is what a lot of accounts are doing online right now. And people just don't want to follow along. Like, I don't want to follow along with that. I don't even want to have to just do that myself. It gets so boring, so repetitive. I've tried it before. Not fun. I wasn't seeing the results. I tried the bio that everybody does. Like, I help you with XYZ, get XYZ without blah, blah, blah. Guess what? The amount of people following me tanked. I get a lot of followers in a day just because of the size of my account now, and because I implement all of those audience growth methods inside the audience growth guide I was talking about. Like, I would say 100 to 150 new followers a day because of that audience growth guide. So make sure that you get that audience growth guide if you don't have your hands on it. The link is in the description of this podcast episode, $11. Like, you can do it. But I have all of this audience growth because my account is also social. When they land on it, it's not just an advertisement. Okay. But I tried that bio thing. Listen, I'm coachable. I do what my mentors tell me to do. And I had a mentor that was like, listen, you need to like create your bio because we don't really know what you do. And so I like did that typical bio that everybody does. And guess what? The amount of people starting to follow me every single day tanked because the bio is the first thing they see, and they glance at your account and they're like, is this a social media account for me to call home, that I want to follow around, that I want to stick around on? Or are they just trying to sell me their next 10K month, like moving on? So I want to take you through like how to actually build this social piece inside of your account, and the first pieces that I would look at when you're creating these goals and just setting a different vision for yourself inside your social media account, in particular Instagram, but it doesn't really matter what platform we're talking about here. So the first thing is, number one, before we even get started into this, have a strategic content plan, one that you love, one that you follow and actually implement, okay? You need a base content plan for your account that actually has a little bit of strategy behind it, okay? This is something that I work with my one-on-one clients now with, okay? We build this together. It's so fun. It's so freeing to go through. It takes you about 1 to 2 hours to plan for the month, and we do it together. And then you take that content across the finish line each week. It's so easy, okay? But make sure you actually have this base plan before we even get into this conversation, because you still do need to talk about your business on your account. You still do need to talk about your craft. But after you've got that strategic plan in place, what are we doing next to create that social piece around the social media? Number one, I want you to find people you love following. Write out like 4 to 5 jot notes of why you love their account. What makes you come back and check their account? Okay. And if you aren't following people online right now, maybe it's time to explore and find a couple of new fun people in different industries that you love following. If you want to be on social media, you have to learn how to love the beast. Like, we can't actively hate something and expect to get from it at the same time. The next thing is, I want you to look at 2 to 3 things in your life that you could also start showing content around inside your stories. Okay. So for me, it's like farm life. I can show my house planning. I can show that I'm a psycho about the house. It's not like I got to check off this box today, But at the beginning, it almost kind of has that sense because you're trying to become more social. And I get when I say, like, make your house a home inside Instagram, you're like, okay, I kind of get it, but what the hell does that mean? So think about 2 to 3 things that you can start also talking about that you go through in your day. Listen, you guys, we have a full fledged farm business, okay? When I'm home, I'm not like gallivanting at the mall and whatever else. Like, I'm helping with the farm too. So if you feel like your life isn't interesting and you're not traveling and blah, 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 there are still things that you can do and show this storyline inside your house. You don't have to be driving a Lamborghini down the streets of Beverly Hills for this to like make sense, okay? So those are my couple of things. What else could you show? Do you love making new recipes? Do you have like a meal plan every week? Are you working out? Do you have like reality TV shows you love every single night? Are you into reading? Like, do you love looking up outfits for the certain season you're in? Like, there's so many different things that you can do. But what are 2 to 3 that you can start adding in? Almost pretending that you're there for that type of content too inside your stories. Think about this because this is going to be the first step to you actually like taking action and implementing this vision inside your account, starting to get comfortable being social again. When you can start doing this, I promise you, you're going to start to notice people want to hang around a little bit more. People do want to engage in your things. People do want to take the next step of working with you. And that's the whole purpose to being there in the first place. But if you're not having fun and it's not even a fun place for you to hang out on, imagine how that feels on the other end. And that was the really hard look I had to take at my own Instagram account. And I got to say, it feels so good to be able to give back to my account without feeling like every single thing needs to be about business. Because the truth is, most business owners who are doing that are struggling right now. There's only a few people at the top that are teaching that strategy that are doing very well. And I don't say that to like badmouth anyone in the industry. I just think we all spend a lot of time and a lot of dollars trying to learn things in business. And it's good for you to know that perhaps maybe there's a different thing that you need to be looking at here. So, thank you so much for being here, you guys. I love you guys so much. I can't wait to see what you guys start to implement and start to lean into when it comes to being social and social media in 2023. I would love to hear any topics that you guys would like to talk about on the podcast coming up. Make sure you leave those in the review section of the podcast, and I will see you over in the next episode. Bye, you guys.